Hello everyone, I'm Daryl Ezekiel and we are from Group 1. So here's my group members. Consists of 4 of us as a group member. Me, myself, Daryl, Vun Hoisun, and Yaswini, and Celine.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning to our lecturers. Today, we are going to present a dialogue conversation. Without further ado, let's start the conversation.
Guess what, everyone? I just signed up for that summer internship.
Awesome, Daryl.
Really? You got it?
Why do you sound so shocked, Celine?
Yeah, Celine, did you think he wouldn't get it? Are you adopting him?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I was just surprised to hear you actually got it.
Oh, so you're happy for me getting the internship, right?
Exactly. I just use a rising tone, which in English often indicates a question or a surprise.
Okay, I think your tone made it sound like you doubted him, Celine.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess I need to watch my intonation more carefully. My intonation must have thrown you off.
I get it now. You know, it's like, how we can sometimes misinterpret how someone says something without realizing it, right?
Absolutely. Just like when I told Sarah you can be serious in a joking tone and she thought I was angry.
Right. Intonation can change the entire feel of conversation. It just happened to me just last week. I told my professor that's an interesting idea with a rising intonation. Then she thought I was being sarcastic.
Oh no.
What did she say?
She looked at me like I was being crazy and she replied, "Do you really think so?"
That's classic. Intonation can totally change the meaning.
Right. Like when I said to one of my colleagues, you really did a great job, but my tone was flat. My friend thought I was mocking him.
So true. It's funny how something as simple as pitch can lead to such big misunderstanding.
Speaking of misunderstanding, remember when I asked my roommate if she wanted to join us for dinner?
Then what happened?
I I then actually said, "Are you coming?" with a flat tone. She actually thought I was upset and said, "I guess I'll stay home then."
Oh no, you meant it as an invitation, right?
Exactly. I had to clarify that I was excited for her to join us.
Oh, then maybe we should practice our intonation together.
Yes, that's right. We can help each other out.
I'm in, guys. So let's make sure we're all on the same page next time, okay?
And I promise to sound more impressed when you achieve something.
Right. Now, here's the time to clear our communication and no more misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Okay, thank you for this is our role play conversation that relates to phonics and phonology. Thank you for viewing and have a nice day.
Celine. So today I'll be talking about the intonation structures of English and Mandarin Chinese. Even though both languages use pitch and voice changes while speaking, they do it very differently. In English, intonation helps express emotions, ask questions, or emphasize certain words. For example, when we ask questions, our voice usually rises at the end. However, for Mandarin, it's more about tonal language. This means pitch changes are built into the words themselves. One word can have a completely different meaning depending on how the pitch moves. For example, the syllable ma can mean mother, ham, horse, or skull just based on tone. Because of these differences, English speakers learning Mandarin need to pay close attention to tones, while Mandarin speakers learning English should practice using pitch for emotion and structure rather than meaning. In this report, we look closely at these differences and suggested ways for learners to improve their pronunciations. With practice, it's possible to overcome these challenges and speak more naturally in both languages.
Hi, madam. I'm Woon Ho Shen. I would like to present about the English intonation structure. There are one example given in a few hours, I think. We must understand about the intonation unit first. There are four components, beginning with pre-head and followed by the head, setting up the baseline of the tonic syllable, and move on to the tonic syllable, the most important part of the tone unit, control the pitch movement of the speech, and lastly will be the tail at the end of the tone unit and its unstressed syllable. Now we will talk about the intonation patterns. There are four patterns. The rising intonation usually used in yes or no question to show uncertainty or statements that convey meaning. For examples, where are we going today? Next will be the falling intonation, usually used in making statements, giving instruction or WH question. For example, can you pass me a pen? And rising falling intonation appeared in the complex or compound sentence. Lastly will be the falling rising intonation to show the uncertainty of the speaker's ideas. Next, we will talk about the Chinese intonation structure. Mandarin Chinese is a tonal language, consists of four lexical tones. First, flat tone. Second, rising tone. Third, falling rising tone. And fourth, falling tone. Each tone carry different meanings when the pitch changes. One of the examples given, mother, first tone, ma. Second tone, ma, num. Third tone, ma, horse. Fourth tone, ma, skull. Mandarin Chinese also has the intonation pattern, which is the focus syllable, a focus component to show the specific information that the speakers want to deliver. The changes will be appeared in the pitch range, the duration and the amplitude, followed by the boundary marking, which is the pausing or lengthening of the syllable within the utterance to ensure that the listener understand what the speakers want to highlight. Thank you.
Hi madam, hi everyone, my name is Yashini and today I will be presenting on the constructive analysis of intonation structures of English and Chinese. Okay, even though English and Mandarin are very different, they share some similarities in intonation. Both use rising intonation to show emotions like surprise or doubt. For example, you did what in English and zindema in Mandarin. Both rise at the end. Yes or no questions in both languages also use rising pitch. In Mandarin, the question word ma is added but the voice still goes up. Both also use pitch reset, where a new sentence starts with a slightly higher pitch. This helps organize speech and guide the listeners. So even though Mandarin has tones, intonation still plays a key role in both languages. Okay, now let's look at the differences. In Mandarin, pitch changes the meaning of word, but in English, it can only affect emotion or sentence type. For example, ma in Mandarin can mean mother or horse depending on the tone. English has more intonation patterns like rising, falling, and fall, rise. Mandarin can't use pitch this freely because it would change the word itself. Mandarin uses sentence particles like ma, ba, ne to show sentence types. English relies on intonation alone for that. In terms of rhythm, English is stressed timed, where some words are stressed more, while Mandarin is syllable timed, with even pacing. Finally, emphasis in English is shown through pitch, but in Mandarin, it's shown through word order or context to avoid changing meaning. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Celine, and in this section, we will explore practical tips to help Chinese learners to improve their English communication. First recommendation for learning English is to listen to English being used by native speakers. As you can see, when speaking English, learners concerns to three conditions. The first condition is how to break the material up into parts. The second, what to accent, and the third, and what tone to be used. The learner should know how to rise or fall and how to stress. So the learners can practice by practicing the pronunciation for minimal pairs, isolate each of the consonant sounds and repeat them over and over, build your phonemic awareness, break words into syllables, and you can also use tongue twisters, use proverbs to practice phonemes. Chinese learners should emphasize on stress, intonation, and sentence segmentation. In this case, which Chinese native speaker is lack of. So these are some of the recommendations for learning English. Now let us look at the recommendation for learning Mandarin. When English speakers learn Chinese, we will find that a very important reason for their non-standard Chinese is that they cannot produce the correct Chinese tones. Learning tonal language can be a challenging experience for native speakers of tonal language. Well, you can overcome this difficulty by doing acquired learning. Okay, so native English speakers do not have tonal training innately, so it is difficult to learn tones when they acquire Chinese, but they can gradually master Chinese tone through acquired learning. Many studies have confirmed this. Through continuous learning and training, a native speaker of a toneless language can master tones and gradually understand the language function of tone. Language experience is undoubtedly the basis of acquiring language rules. The second method is perceptual training. Perceptual training is the most effective ways for learners to learn. For beginners, the first step is to train listening. Repeatedly listening to the recordings of native Chinese speaker can return to the tone learning itself. The second step is active awareness. After practicing listening, learners should take the initiative to imitate and practice their own vocalization. The third method is music melody teaching method. That is to combine the understanding of musical melody with the understanding of Chinese tone. And last but not least, stress training. That is to understand the division of stress. In Chinese, there are many words with homophones and different meanings in Chinese which need to be distinguished by stress. Learning stress in Chinese can make certain pitches in the same level of tones more prominent. This helps learners to distinguish pitches and help learners understand soft sound in Chinese. So that's all from me. Thank you.
To conclude all the discussions about this intonation, studying English and Mandarin intonation shows clear phonological differences. Mandarin speakers must be very careful with pitch because it changes word meanings, while English use pitch mainly for emotions and sentence structures. Both languages do share some features like using rising intonation for questions and resetting pitch between sentences, but the core differences are important for learners to understand. So with strategies like listening practice and phonemic exercise, learners can overcome pronunciation challenges over time. With regular practice, they can speak more fluently and communicate more effectively in either language. Thank you. That is all from Group 1. Peace.